Hey, what's up? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and welcome to my channel. I'm here to provide you the best crypto content you can find in 10 minutes. All right, starting with our Bitcoin charts. Bitcoin has been battling lately. It has been battling. It's been battling for that 200-week moving average that we've been talking about. It's sitting exactly right now, right on it, at about 22,700 or so. And Bitcoin has been fighting, going up and down and sticking around that level mostly. We can see here, if you go zoom into the hourly, that it has been uptrending a little bit since yesterday's video. Now this uptrend here is consolidation of the previous breakdown that we saw here. So right now we can go and check our RSI, relative strength index, and our RSI right now is at about 54, not overbought, not too oversold right now. So I expect that it's probably going to wind up chopping sideways some more, and it might even start downtrending. I've been looking at making another Bitcoin buy under 22,000. We had a very small window yesterday that I outlined on Twitter in which it dipped under 22,000. It only was there for about 30 minutes or so, not even an hour. And then it shot back up again, and it's been pushing and making higher lows and higher lows. However, this downtrend is still intact here from the highs of 24,000 to the next peak of 23,000, and then here at 22,000. So I expect that it's probably going to continue this pattern or chop sideways a little bit. So for Bitcoin, however, this week is going to be very important, quite possibly one of the most important weeks that we've seen on the market. And the reason for that is both there is a Fed meeting going on here. There's a Fed meeting that's going to be happening July 26th to the 27th, which is next week. Okay, and in that Fed meeting, the Fed is going to determine whether or not they're going to be raising interest rates to either between 50 and 100 bips. So either 0.5% all the way up to 1%. I think most people right now and most businesses are assuming that they're going to raise by about 75 basis points or so. So that would put us at about 0.75%. And this would be in line. I would say that's not bullish. I would say it's not bearish. I would say it's very neutral. What would be bullish in this case is if they decided that they're only going to be going at about 50 basis points or so 0.5%. If they did that, that would mean that they think that the inflation level is coming down. That would be very bullish for Bitcoin and for stocks. And however, on the other side of the coin, if they go to 100 or a full percentage point increase, that'll be very bearish, because at that point they feel like the interest rates have not come down, or that they feel like inflation has not come down enough at that point. So they're going to have to keep raising interest rates. I think what's probably the most likely what we're going to see is a 75 basis point increase, and the market's already basically priced that in at this point. So I don't expect a huge reaction either to the upside or the downside if they stick with 75. Next, we also have major earnings for certain companies, for a huge mega cap tech stocks. Okay, and the reason why this is going to move Bitcoin is because these mega cap tech stocks are trillion-dollar companies, and they move the NASDAQ, and Bitcoin tends to follow the NASDAQ. So if these companies come out and they have good earnings, that will push the NASDAQ higher, and it will push Bitcoin higher. We have Apple that's going to be reporting on the 28th. We have Microsoft that's going to be reporting on the 26th. Also, Google on the 26th, Amazon on the 28th, and also Meta on the 27th. So each one of these could have a huge impact on Bitcoin and on cryptocurrencies. If we see earnings come out and they're strong, the NASDAQ will go up, and then the crypto market will probably follow, because crypto market follows the NASDAQ. However, if these companies come out and it's mixed or it's negative, then that's very bearish for Bitcoin and for the crypto market. So I'll be watching for each one of these earnings and seeing how they affect the Bitcoin price. I think that most of these earnings are going to be kind of mixed, judging by what I've seen. but I'm not entirely certain just yet. Even on mixed earnings, we can see stock prices increase and the Nasdaq go up. So I think that we're going to probably wind up being sideways, mixed for the most part. I think that's probably the most likely outcome. And then next, we also have the U.S. Q2 GDP numbers are going to come out. And the reason why this is important is if the numbers for the second quarter are negative, that means that the U.S. would be in a technical recession. So this is set for July 28th. And so we're going to be looking out and seeing whether or not these GDP numbers are going to be negative. If it's positive, then that would be very bullish. If it's negative, that would be very bearish, because that would mean that if it's negative, then that means that we're in a recession. And I expect the stock market and thus the crypto market to also react negatively. So these are some huge events for this week. Right now, these three events going on right now, between earnings for major cap tech stocks, the GDP estimate, and the Fed meeting, could either potentially signal a bottom in stock and in the stock market and crypto, or it could signal a continuation of the bear market. So that's why this is so important, and each one of these things can move Bitcoin and the crypto market. And I'll be looking out for this. I'll be trying to give you the most updated information that I can. All these events are going to affect this thing here, the dollar index. And the dollar index, as we've said before, Bitcoin tends to trade inversely to the dollar index. So if the Fed raises rates even further, that strengthens the dollar, and thus it'll weaken Bitcoin as a result. All right. We're also going to talk about Ethereum as well. So we have the Ethereum chart up here. Ethereum has been holding up very well. I mean, I have yet to see any sort of breakdown of this. Ethereum looks a lot better than Bitcoin looks. And on top of that, we're at about 54 or so on the RSI. So it's not overbought and it's not oversold. Take a look at the daily here, and we can see that it's still chopping sideways, just as I expected. It's going to continue this sideways chop probably for the rest of the weekend and into the next week. And then we'll see those three events pop up, and those three events could either make stocks run, or they can make stocks break down, and then crypto will follow the stocks. So the way I see it is, I think the most likely outcome we're going to see is probably a mixed outcome. I don't think it's going to be overly bullish. I don't think it's going to be overly bearish either. But I don't have a fortune ball, and I can't exactly go and look into my fortune ball at my I can't look into my crystal ball and tell you what exactly it's going to be. I'm not like a fortune teller. But the way I'm working this right now is I expect it's going to stay sideways, and I'm going to continue my dollar cost averaging strategy for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. But again, it's not financial advice. If I see anything new, if I see some new information, I'll be sure to put that on Twitter, and follow me on Twitter for the most up-to-date information that we see here. And that's all I've got for you guys. If you like this channel, let me know. Please like, subscribe, and also follow. I'd greatly appreciate that. And let me know what you guys would like me to cover. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, signing out.